Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be reviewing my third round game of the 2020 Midwest Open. My opponent is Eric Yoder, who's 6th dan. For this round, they had a broadcast room, and I was lucky enough to be on board 1, which was the board in the broadcast room. So there is a Twitch live stream of this game. If you want to watch that, I will have that link in the description, hopefully. If you want to watch the game in real time, watch me play, etc., etc. I think somebody's reviewing it as well. I'm not sure who it is, but if you want to listen to a strong player review the game in real time, check that link out. It also helps support the people who broadcasted the event. It's actually not the first time I've played Eric. I played him, I believe it's 3 years ago now, 4 years ago. It was at the Boston Go Congress. It was at the Die Hard tournament. It's a one-day tournament they have on the rest day at the Go Congress. We met in the final round. I was 3 dan at the time. He was 6 dan still, and he beat me. I didn't feel I was like completely out of it, but it was a good game. I sadly actually lost the game record of that game. I just forgot to save it. I felt so bad because I like to have records for all my games. But so 4 years down the line, now I'm 5 dan. He's 6 dan. So I felt like I would have a better chance than 4 years ago when I was only 3 dan. So hopefully I can take the win. Yeah. Let's get into the game. I am black, he is white. This is my favorite opening. This is also, I see Shin Jinseo play this a lot, so maybe that's part of it. And he, of course, plays AI attachments. So I have to respond, but that's a good enough exchange for white that he just ignores. So I block, and then I actually play this one. Now, if you remember my second round game, I played a variation specifically to avoid this very complicated joseki. Now, we get into it, so let's see what I can do. So usually this is the normal move, and then this is kind of the joseki everybody knows. Something like this, boom. Boom. And there's tons of variations, but this is like the most common variation that you'll see. Like this. Maybe Atari first. And then go here. And then connect. And again, there's many variations, but this is a very simple one. Something like this. Cut first. Something like this. So this is kind of one that everybody knows. Or at least every wannabe strong player should know and does know. But I'd recently seen a game online on Fox between Kuja and Kim Young-hoon, I think it is. It's definitely Kuja, but the other player I might be misremembering. At the time of this video, it's been like 2 weeks since that game. And coincidentally enough, that's a game that I want to do for the interesting game series. So you'll actually look forward to that game. But so usually this is the move, but in that game black played here. Now this is not that it's uncommon, but the way black played it made it pretty interesting. Basically, black's going to plan on giving up these 3 stones to build the right side. Yeah. Okay. Here. So in all the games I've seen with this variation, white would just descend. If black went here, white would play there, black jumps. And this is a variation I've seen a lot. Again, black gives up the 3 now 4 stones, and black gets a wall. So both are happy. White gets quite a bit amount of points. In the game, black went here, which at the time I thought was a mistake, because it wasn't like, I've never seen a pro not play this move. So I knew that something was like, this move was probably not good. Now I cannot locally cut, because black can, or white can cut. Now, I could consider just giving up the side here and just playing a different game, but I was so set on the fact that I wanted the right side that I didn't consider this. Especially after white made that exchange at Q6, this attachment. This would probably still be pretty even, I would say. But since I'm trying to save the right side, there's no way this can hold. If I try to fix, so if I fix by going here, white can Atari these and ladder them. So I need to take away liberty, but white can play this move. And black is going to be very sad. So, because of that, but when I went here, I was like, oh, this is my chance. Because I'm putting pressure on these cornerstones. White comes down, and then I cut. So, again, at the time, I was like, oh, this is just fine. There's no problem with this. Everything's still fine. But in the game, I just send and just give up the 2 stones. Now, interestingly, that game that I was referencing earlier, that I want to do for the interesting game series, that was between Kuzha and Kim Young-hoon, I think. This is actually very similar, where black just also gave up this cutting stone here. You can see black does get a very large wall and captures this stone, but white gets a ton of points. Like, that's around 35 points. So it's pretty big. But I think so what I can do, though, is play here first. Because now if white plays this move, I can cut. And notice white's unable to play here now because I can capture. So white needs to Atari. And probably really does want to push once more. So you can see I've pushed white down by a lot. Now white can run out with these stones, but this fight would be good for black. Or at least equal enough for black. Especially with this turn being Sente. So white would probably want to push once more. So, yeah. If white doesn't push, this move is actually Sente. So, yeah. I definitely should have played this one. Yeah, I just should have played it first. But I just hastily just cut directly and then gave up the stones. And I should definitely push once more. It'll be pretty hard for white to ignore this move. Especially since I can double Hane. So yeah, I should just push once more. But I did not. I immediately approached. And white took the $1,000 or $1 million bend. You can see how much it reduces black's area and increases white's. Whereas if I get it, you can see how much it increases my area but reduces white's. At this point, I should really just answer somehow. Again, my right side is pretty formidable. But, again, I don't know what I was thinking during the game, but I play possibly the slowest move on the board. So what I was trying to do was get him to answer. But of course, he's not going to answer this. But, like, if he played a move like this, I was going to lean to try to get both moves. But E5 is the move I want to get anyways. So I should just play this move. And we talked about this after the game. And he said if I had done this, he was going to answer. But because I played here first, he just jumps. And again, I should just fix somehow. Because there's this cut here. I should just do something. Kind of make him come into my area when I have an advantage. But in the game, again, I'm like, I don't want to answer you. I ignore. So you can see, if we change the order of moves, it makes no sense for black to then go here. So you can see D2 is a very bad move. This move is more common if white pincers, and then you dive. If white fixes, then you can extend. But without any pressure on this one stone, there's no reason to dive into the corner. Especially when I could play a move like this as well. Or this one. Just anything but this move, please. White jumps, and then I was like, there's no way he's going to ignore. Well, he ignored and cut. He played where the fight actually was on the board, where I was just trying to, like, feint a fight. There's not actually anything going on the bottom left, but I was trying to pretend like there was. And of course I have to take or answer, and then now you can see these stones are weak and these stones are weak. Where I had a position where I was strong on the right side, all of a sudden white's the one that's strong. I can't just jump because white will then squeeze here. And this would be too painful. Way too painful. So I just took, I don't know what's better, just taking or trying to put more pressure. Maybe putting more pressure is better. It probably is, but it's still very difficult. Still very difficult. White jumps, threatening again this group and the center group, so I have to jump out. And then white plays at the shape point. I attach here, so this move is actually pretty sharp, opposed to black's other moves in this game. But it's basically saying if white hanes, black will double hane. If white tries to block, I can Atari and then capture here. If white takes, black can extend, and again, there's two cutting points. White goes here. At this point, after that Atari, black would just give up. Force black to take two stones and sente. White wouldn't do this directly, but you can see black would actually get a pretty good game on the right side. Yeah. If white descends, black can descend again. And if white descends again, black will hane. White needs to block. And then black would actually just give up those cornerstones. And this would actually not be too bad for black. Especially because it's sente. Like white needs to take the stones off the board. So that wouldn't be good for white. If white just comes back and protects, this wouldn't be too bad, but if white takes out the eye, black again would just extend. White's technically not alive yet. So yeah, this move's pretty good. White just goes there directly. Black will connect. Yeah. But white does place here. And I really should just descend. Because in the game I went here, but white would get this free forcing move. Whereas when I descend, this move isn't forcing. Or at least I can answer it by haneing. But I just wanted to live, I guess. Tari, and then white fixes the cut with a ladder, which is putting pressure on the center group. So I jump away from these stones because I want to, for some reason, think I can attack these, so I don't want to lean towards them, so I lean towards white strong stones. But you can see this move is also helping white build the left side. I extend, and at this point I'm like, okay, if white does anything, at least I'll be able to get here and potentially build the bottom. But of course, white being the strong player that he is, he jumps here. And at this point I'm like, okay, well I had a giant moyo on the right side, and from it, I got 2 points on the right here, a weak group in the center, and the 12 points I had in the corner anyway. So not going too well for black, is it? Not doing so well. So at this point I definitely knew I was behind, like, by a lot. So I knew I had to do crazy moves like this. Like normally I would just play a move like this, or maybe even play a little bit faster, but I knew I needed to play fast here. White protects the corner, and then I again protect again. And then, the bottom left doesn't look too bad, but again, it's very wide open is the issue. So of course white shoulder hits. Wants to attack the center, so but he wants to indirectly attack the center. And then I extend up. So I think I should just block. If white attaches, which is what I was afraid of in the game, and cuts, I would just happily... Would this be happily? Yeah, I would just happily go here. If white wants to save these stones, you can see white would be very weak. If white extends and I save, maybe by going here. If white Atari's this way, I'm not sure white is alive. Is white alive? That's the question. Goes there. It would at least be Ko, right? Yeah, it would at least be Ko. And I have Ko threats up top. Sadly, white does have a ton of Ko threats with the center group, but this result would be better than what happened in the game at least. So I should definitely just block here, take my 4th line territory, but I extend up. And of course, white comes down. And then I Hane here. Again, I wanted to go here, but this felt way too painful because my shape is not great. So if I just block, I need to fix somehow. And white could just simply go here or something, and white would take all the points. So I went here, Hane, and again, I think I should just extend down. But I was like, haha, I can cut you. What are you going to do about that, huh? And he says, okay. You just take 2, you just capture 2 stones, and I will take the entire side. So I think maybe at this point everything's not great, or everything's not going well for black, but no, because even if this happens, it's not that great for black, is it? No, it's not. So that wouldn't be good either. So after this cut, after this move, I think it's pretty easy for white to win this game. Yeah, Tari, white fixes. Don't have time to like play here. So I just jump to white's corner. I was kind of hoping white would block the corner, but white smartly just takes the points on the top. And again, I do not have time to live because white would just do something and win the game pretty easily. So I played here, kind of like my last hurrah. And again, white's very smart and doesn't play here. White does. We can see that black's looking at this double peep. Tari, and then so black would be able to capture those stones. So white smartly goes here. I fix. White fixes. I take out the eye because again, that's all I can do at this point. But you can see black's shape here is not super great. White extends up. I play hastily, play here, and then white cuts across. And you can see if I just block, white would then be able to clamp, and I cannot cut. So I read some crazy sequence where, oh, I can just give up these stones and make white have a false eye, and at this point I was just like, okay, I'm done with this game, and I resigned. At this point, yeah, because I'm not alive in the corner. He just cut off those 2 stones. I think I counted I had like 20 points or 25 points, something like that. Probably less, honestly. Especially after the bottom left corner. So, white played very well. So I do not want to discredit him, but I was definitely playing pretty poorly. And I don't know if it's because I was in the spotlight and I had to make a show for the people. But this is not a good game by me. Very poor playing by black. And I think it started with playing josekis you don't actually know and you just wanted to try because you saw in a pro game recently. That's the bane of my existence sometimes. There's no need to play this joseki. Right? Especially, you know, again, I thought this was the only move, so maybe it was fine for me to do it, but I need to know like the variations. I only knew one branch of a joseki, and especially when this joseki here, where white cuts, is like the new Taisha or the new Avalanche, you need to know all those variations, or at least have a good understanding of what's going on in the game to be able to adapt to any situation. Because I don't play this kind of... It's very vulgar to play this way, where you just give your opponent a ton of points in the center to build a moyo, and it's definitely not my style. So I think playing choosing a joseki that doesn't complement my style was a big no-no. Like, I should just, at this point, just block, play normal, and just play a normal game, right? There's no reason, because again, that joseki is kind of the new Avalanche / new Taisha, and if you mess up those josekis, it's game ending. So I shouldn't put all my eggs in one basket on seeing who knows the joseki better. Because I never played Tyser or Avalanche in my tournament games because I didn't know them. So I should just follow the same mantra in my games. And just do something simple like this. But for some reason I thought this would be fun and that I should try it in a serious tournament setting. So this was probably the downfall. This didn't help at all. Just keep building the right side or actually put pressure on the stone. So this was probably the losing move. Yeah, not a good game. Again, White played very well, so I want to give props to him. He just dismantled me. Not even close. Not even close. Made me look like not a 5 down. I promise I'm 5 down, but this game it's definitely not. Definitely didn't show it. That's for sure. But I still had another round to go, so I couldn't get too down on myself. And we actually talked about the joseki in the upper right actually after the game a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions about this game or any comments about it, please let me know. I try to respond to all the comments, so if you comment, I will probably respond. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.